There are melodies that seem to live forever, soft, simple, yet hauntingly beautiful. For Elise is one of them. Almost everyone recognizes those first few notes, delicate, circling, wistful, like a whisper from another time. Yet behind its beauty lies one of music's greatest mysteries. A lost name, a forgotten love. Ludwig van Beethoven composed Für Elise around 1810, but astonishingly, it wasn't published until 1867, 40 years after his death. The title, scribbled on the discovered manuscript, read, Für Elise am 27. April zur Erinnerung von L. van Beethoven, for Elise on April 27th, as a remembrance from Ludwig van Beethoven. The mystery? No one knows for certain who Elise was. The manuscript itself was lost for decades, and even when found, the name Elise was smudged. Some historians believe it might have originally said Therese. The woman behind the name. One theory suggests Beethoven wrote it for Therese Malfatti, a young woman he was deeply infatuated with. She was intelligent, musical, and part of Vienna's artistic elite. Everything Beethoven admired. In 1810, he reportedly proposed to her, and she declined. Heartbroken but gracious, Beethoven may have composed this tender piano piece as a farewell gift, perhaps to be played by her, or to remind her of his affection. The Elise in the title may have simply been a misreading of Therese when the manuscript was rediscovered years later. Others think it was dedicated to Elisabeth Röckel, a soprano who was a close friend, and possibly another of Beethoven's romantic interests. The truth, like many of Beethoven's emotions, is hidden behind his music. A song of bittersweet simplicity. What makes Für Elise so remarkable is its deceptive simplicity. The opening melody feels almost childlike, yet beneath it is a deep longing, a pulse of sadness that seems to speak of unfulfilled love. The repeated motif circles endlessly, as though trapped in memory, unable to move on. Then, the middle section bursts into life, brighter, bolder, like a glimpse of joy or passion. But it fades, returning to that same delicate sadness. The piece begins and ends with the same melody, just as memory always returns to the one person we can't forget. The hidden genius Beethoven was already beginning to lose his hearing around the time he wrote Für Elise. Imagine that. A man slowly descending into silence, yet still able to craft something so full of grace and emotion. Each note feels like a conversation between sound and silence, between love and loss. Some musicologists even argue that the piece was never meant to be performed publicly. It may have been a private work, a musical letter from Beethoven's heart, never intended for the world. And yet, it's one of the most beloved piano pieces in history. Rediscovery and immortality. Decades after Beethoven's death, musicologist Ludwig found the forgotten manuscript in Therese Malfatti's belongings. He transcribed and published it, naming it Für Elise. Sadly, the original manuscript was lost again, leaving scholars with only copies and questions. Still, the piece endured. It became a staple for piano students and concert pianists alike. One of those rare works that feels both intimate and universal. Even now, its melody echoes in films, phones, and music boxes around the world. A whisper from the past. When you listen to Für Elise, you're hearing more than just notes. You're hearing a message that survived centuries of silence, loss, and forgotten love. Maybe it was written for Therese, maybe for Elise, or maybe it was written for no one in particular. Just a whisper of what it feels like to love and lose. The beauty of Für Elise lies not in knowing the truth, but in feeling it. The tenderness of the melody, the melancholy of its return, the ache in every phrase. It all tells a story of the human heart, fragile, hopeful, and endlessly yearning. And that's the true miracle, that after more than 200 years, Beethoven's quiet little love song still speaks to us, as if time itself has stopped to listen.